Imagine you're 17. You just made it. You're looking for a car. Not a fast car, not a luxury car. You want something that shouldn't exist. You want a car that costs more than a private island, has an engine that could power a small village, and can outrun a hurricane without spilling your espresso. There is only one name that fits that description: Bugatti. Today, we know them as the kings of the 300-mile-per-hour club. We know them as the brand that makes Lamborghinis look like budget hatchbacks. But the story of Bugatti isn't just about top speed or rich guys in Monaco. It's a story of obsession, tragic deaths, a factory left in ruins, a literal blue ghost in Italy, and a mad scientist at Volkswagen who decided to build the impossible. This is the 115-year journey of the most insane car brand on Earth. Most car founders were mechanics. Henry Ford, mechanic. Enzo Ferrari, driver and mechanic. Ettore Bugatti, he was an artist, literally. Born in Milan in 1881, his dad, Carlo Bugatti, was a world-famous furniture designer. His brother, Rembrandt, yes, that was his real name, was a legendary sculptor. Ettore was expected to follow the family business, but he realized something early on. Why paint on a canvas when you can paint with steel and gasoline? At just 17 years old, the same age as many of you watching, Ettore built his first motorized tricycle. By 19, he had built a full car that won a gold medal at the Milan International Exhibition. But here's the thing about Ettore. He was a massive diva. He didn't just want his cars to work. He hated ugly engineering. If a bolt wasn't polished, he'd lose his mind. He once famously told a customer who complained about his car's brakes, "I make my cars to go, not to stop." In 1909, he moved to Molsheim in what was then Germany, now France, and started his own company. He didn't just build a factory, he built a lifestyle. He had his own stables for horses, his own hotel for customers, and he even grew his own vegetables. If you wanted a Bugatti, we didn't just buy a car. You had to be worthy of Ettore's approval. In the 1920s, the Bugatti Type 35 was the ultimate meta. The stat: the Bugatti Type 35 is officially the most successful race car in history. It didn't just win a few races, it recorded over 2,500 victories. At its peak, it was averaging 12 race wins a. Imagine winning a Grand Prix on Sunday, driving the car to work on Monday, and winning another race on Wednesday. That was the Type 35. What made it so good? Ettore's obsession with weight. While other companies were building massive, heavy engines, Bugatti focused on lightness and handling. He invented the hollow front axle and the beautiful aluminum alloy wheels that integrated the brake drums. It was the first time a car looked as fast as it actually was. It won the Targa Florio 5 years in a row. It won the first ever Monaco Grand Prix in 1929. Bugatti was the king of the world. But as we know in car history, the higher you fly, the harder you fall. Then came the 1930s. Ettore's son, Jean Bugatti, was taking over the design. If Ettore was the soul, Jean was the flair. Jean designed the Type 41 Royale. This thing was a monster. It was over 21 feet long. The engine was a 12.7-liter straight-eight, originally designed for airplanes. It was so expensive that even kings couldn't afford it. Only 6 were ever built. But then came the Type 57 SC Atlantic. Only 4 were made. It's widely considered the most beautiful car ever built. One of them, the black car, disappeared during World War II and has never been found. If you find it in a barn today, it's worth over $100 million. But tragedy was coming. In 1939, Jean Bugatti was testing a Type 57 race car near the factory. A cyclist wandered onto the track. Jean swerved to miss him, crashed into a tree, and died at just 30 years old. The heart of Bugatti was broken. A few weeks later, World War II started. The Nazis seized the factory. After the war, Ettore tried to rebuild, but he died in 1947. For the next 40 years, Bugatti was dead. A ghost. A memory. Fast forward to the late 80s. An Italian businessman named Romano Ardioli says, "I'm bringing Bugatti back." He didn't build it in France. He built a blue factory in Campo Galliano, Italy, right in the backyard of Ferrari and Lamborghini. He hired the guys who designed the Lamborghini Countach and Miura. The result? The Bugatti EB110. The tech. This car was a spaceship for 1991. Michael Schumacher even bought a yellow one. But the global economy crashed, the factory went bankrupt in 1995, and once again, the gates of Bugatti were locked. Enter the villain, or the hero, depending on who you ask. Ferdinand Piëch, the boss of Volkswagen. In 1998, VW bought the rights to Bugatti. Piëch sat his engineers down and gave them a list of requirements that sounded like a prank. 1. 1,000 horsepower. 2. Top speed over 400 kilometers per hour, 248 miles per hour. 3. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 3 seconds. 4. And his wife should be able to drive it to the opera comfortably. That's impossible. The tires will melt. The engine will explode. The car will literally take off like an airplane. Piëch just stared at them until they left the room. It took 7 years. They had to invent a W16 engine, 2 V8s slapped together. It had 4 turbos and 10 radiators. Yes, 10. 1 for the engine, 1 for the transmission, 1 for the differential. It's basically a cooling system on wheels. When the Bugatti Veyron launched in 2005, it changed everything. It hit 253 miles per hour. It was so fast that at top speed, it would empty its 26-gallon fuel tank in just 12 minutes. But it didn't matter. Bugatti was back at the top. The fact, VW actually lost an estimated $6 million on every Veyron they sold. They didn't build it for profit. They built it to prove they were the best engineers in the world. Then came the Chiron. 1,500 horsepower. More refined, more aggressive. But the world wanted to know, could it hit the magic number? 300 miles per hour? In 2019, test driver Andy Wallace took a modified Chiron Supersport 300 Plus to the Aerolession track. 304.77 miles per hour. That is roughly 136 meters per second. At that speed, the tires are spinning so fast they're trying to pull themselves apart with 7,000 GS of force. It was a mic drop moment for the internal combustion engine. So what's next? Bugatti has now joined forces with mate Rimac, the 30-something-year-old electric car genius. Everyone thought the next Bugatti would be a silent electric car. But Bugatti doesn't do expected. They just announced the Tourbillon. It has a naturally aspirated V16 engine that revs to 9,000 revolutions per minute, paired with electric motors for a total of 1,775 horsepower. It has an analog dashboard that looks like a high-end Swiss watch. Ettore Bugatti once said, "If comparable, it is no longer Bugatti." After 115 years, through bankruptcy, world wars, and impossible engineering challenges, that's still true. Bugatti isn't just a car company. It's a reminder that if you're obsessed enough, you can turn metal and air into magic. Thanks for watching the story of the Thoroughbred. Which Bugatti is your GOAT? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more car stories. See you in the next one.